who said, hey, I fed it to the big guy here. He knocked it away, Jarrell Smith.
You know, Pimble's going to have a tough time right now because Jarrell Smith's down on that block, that time the same side as Pimble. So here's a guy trying not to get in foul trouble, you know, and he's got a player like Jamel Smith right next to him.
With the basketball, once again, Giovanni over the top to Jones. He'll shoot that three from there if given an open look, and he has it. Three-pointer out of the corner. That's back rim, no good. Up high, but the rebound, Smith. I thought he might have basically elevated off the shoulder of Tavares. Jump ball possession arrow will favor Ventura.
Well, that was a good job defensively by Ventura. Riverside kept coming at him, kept getting good shots, nothing to go down for him, and Ventura just hung in there and gets a tied ball.
5:57 left to play. It's 59-53. Trevor Breland, right side to Watson. I've been impressed with this guy, Troy Watson. Hasn't scored a lot, but he's very confident with the basketball. To Pimble, to Tavares, coming strong, foul from behind. Danny getting ready to throw that down with power with the right hand. Giovanni, that's a great foul by that young man.
Now, Giovanni Moretti had no chance. The only thing he could do, because Danny does such a great job of elevating. He's way, way up in the air. And Giovanni Moretti just isn't that big. All he could do was grab him.
63% for the free throw line. That one's good. 60-53 as we check the replay. Great pass. That was a tremendous play. Takes a lot of courage by Giovanni to step in and make that foul. Second one, that's good. 61-53, lead back to 8 with 5:42 and counting. Second half action tonight from Ventura. Right side with a basketball, Pierre. They might try to get this young man going. To Viroete. Viroete, high post look to Smith, drops it underneath. He throws that away almost. Saved baseline left side by Jones. Foul's going to be called on Danny Tavares. And again, the partisan faithful here representing and cheering for the Pirates did not like that call. That's 4 on Danny.
And I absolutely agree from this angle anyway. Of course, the referee, that was Ralph Schimmel. He's right there at the play. From this angle, it looked like it was all ball. He didn't swing down, just held his hand up and got all ball, but the foul was called.
Free throw in the air, and that one pops out. So the free throw shooting of late, not good by the Tigers. Well, it looked like to me that the indication was the block was clean, but after the block, the foul was committed. I thought after the block is made, basically play on. That's what I thought.
He blew the whistle before it happened, and he had to make up a call. That was a clean block.
In the corner left side, Breland straight away to Watson. They reverse the ball right side to right to Tavares. He's got to be very careful. Pull up jump shot right side. That's good.
Oh, he's got it all. He's got everything in his arsenal. He's shown it all tonight. And we've seen with Pimble and Tavares on the floor, Ventura is a completely different team. And that's why they're up by 10 right now.
This is going to be 5 crazy minutes of basketball. Both sides. Foul on the reach by Robert Wright. Both squads know with 5 minutes exactly left to play, they are that far removed from playing in the state of California Community College Basketball Men's Championships. To the free throw line, Emmanuel Jones. They haven't shot well of late.
You got to have good management here right now, and that just is not good management by Robert Wright. You know, he made that silly error earlier with the offensive player control foul, and here he's making a foul with just 10 seconds into the shot clock. When you're up by 10, you want to run the clock. You want to use some clock. You don't foul 35 feet from the basket.
Well, you want to pack it in defensively and basically force them to take a very difficult shot. Not that wide open look from 15. You get both of them at 63-55. Here comes the pressure right up high on the press break, trying to find somebody to give it to. He finds Watson. Watson with a left hand. Trap momentarily, ball knocked away, stolen by Yerby. Here they come. 3 on 2. The trailer, Pierre, almost traveled. I thought he traveled with a basketball. He was trying to drop that off. It looked to me like the feet were almost on the ground before he let the ball go.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tom. I think he did come down first.
Off of one of the Ventura Pirates out of bounds on the inbounds. Giovanni has the basketball out high against Breland. 4:39 left to play in the ball game. Entry pass, low block, left side. That's a push off by Jones. And they're going to bail him out with a foul. Again, you use your body, your upper body, to try to separate, get space, and Jones did that very well. Not unlike Danny Tavares did at the other end.
Well, that was just a mismatch against Robert Wright, and after talking about him, he came down here. He and Breland made that great defensive play that knocked that ball out of bounds on the 3 and 2, and looked like he's getting pretty good defense there against Emmanuel Jones, but instead he gets pushed off and he gets the foul.
63-56, so 3 consecutive points scored by Riverside. Make it 4 consecutive at 63-57, 6-point lead. Anthony Dandy will check back into the ballgame. Replacing for just a moment, I would believe, Emmanuel Jones. And also, we've got some other, we'll get to that momentarily with the basketball. Right, that's got to be a foul. Giovanni basically with the chest bump as we look at the team fouls. That's 9, so that will be the 1+1. Right already at the free throw line. Hopefully to shoot 2.
Well, and this could be a long game if we start getting into the let's foul routine at 4:31 left in the game. That could play out to 20, 30 minutes here over the next half hour of guys marching to the free throw line.
Reminder, it's the double bonus when each squad reaches 10 fouls. Next one, Riverside commits. Ventura will get the automatic 2. The Pirates have 18 fouls. Free throw in the air, that's good. Good free throw shooting that time by Wright. In fact, he's been at the free throw line successfully on a couple of occasions here in the second half. 64-57. Second one in the air. That one's good. 65-57 with 4:30 left to play.
That's a good way to stop and just step up and shoot 2.
James Simmons back the other way, right side to Pierre. Pierre swings it left side to Jones. Jones to Simmons. Simmons inside, look to the big guy Smith. I thought he traveled. He misses a shot. The putback is missed. They're going to call a foul underneath. And hopefully it's not against Tavares. The foul was committed on Rodney Yerby. And I think they'll get Watson for the foul. Check, that's Pimble, so that's 4 on Pimble, who seems to be the most surprised guy in the house at this point.
It was a smart play by Tavares. He actually, on Smith, he didn't foul him, stayed down. And unfortunately, they got the offensive rebound and then Pimble fouled him. But, I was thinking earlier, if you might want to go with 4:14 left, some offense, defense with Tavares, the problem is he's your best defensive and rebounder, so you kind of want him out there forever then.
Yerby hits the first free throw, second one on the way. That one rims out, no good. Rebound to Pimble. 65-58, 7-point lead. Coming up now on 4:05 left to play in the second half to Breland. Baseline right side to Pimble, straight away to Watson. They swing it left side to Tavares. He puts the ball on the floor. Back straight away top of the key to Watson. Off his foot momentarily, almost stolen. Great job by Simmons trying to make that steal.
But there's going to be a lot of that coming up right now, and that's Riverside's overplaying on defense. They've thrown on the full court press. They're going to go for every steal they can possibly get their hands on.
11 seconds left on the shot clock, down to 3:48. And there's a foul call underneath. Who's that foul going to be called on? Are they going to get Wright or are they going to get Smith? Looks like they're going to get Jarrell Smith for a foul. A couple of guys ended up on their backside, Jarrell Smith and Robert Wright. Robert Wright at the free throw line to shoot the double bonus.
Yeah, I think what happened was Wright was setting a pick and Jamel Smith just came busting through it, hammering through it, and he held his ground. I think the official made a good call.
So Wright, I think, has been perfect so far. 4 for 4, I believe now 5 for 5, 66-58, 3:48. I think Dave Wheeler nodding in the affirmative. Second free throw, that's in the air, and that's good. 67-58, back to a 9-point lead with 3:45 and counting. Second half action timeout called by James Simmons and Riverside.
Those are huge free throws. That changes the whole strategy for Riverside. When you have a guy step up and they make 6 in a row, this whole idea of fouling to slow the game down, try to get them back into it, extend the length of the game, this isn't going to work when they just keep walking up there and putting in the free throws.
All right, Coach, I got a question. If you're Riverside, you know that a couple of guys on the other side, 2 of the best players, if not the 2 best players throughout the course of the year for Ventura, saddled with 4 fouls. I'm talking about Tavares and Pimble. Do you basically try to run your offense at those guys, or is it too late? You just try to get the best looks you can?
No, I think you run right at them right now. With 3:44 left, I was thinking the exact same thing. I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Smith right now was telling them, look, let's get the ball inside. There are only 2 rebounders. There are only 2 real offensive threats right now. Both have 4 fouls. Go right at them. Get them out of the game. Hey, you fight to live another day. You might get into overtime or something else, and then you get a chance to beat them. So, yeah, I think you go directly at those 2 if you're Riverside.
So the rest of the ball game, Ventura will be shooting the double bonus, and, of course, on shooting fouls, you get the automatic 2 or the 3. If it's a 3-point shot, you're fouled. And for Riverside, they'll start shooting double bonus after 1 more Pirate foul. And we have a updated score not looking as good for Ventura. With 7 minutes left to play in the second half, Pasadena, they've extended to a 59-46 lead over the VC women.
I'll tell you what I'd like to see VC do right now, Tom, is you got Riverside pressing and you got Riverside going to be reaching and grabbing. You know, if the Pirates right now could attack the basket, try to score instead of lengthen the clock, I think they could put up some quick points. Tavares was standing in front of us here. You got Watson in front of us on the other side. And right now I think you attack that zone and try to stretch out a bigger lead.
Pierre with a basketball straight away to Simmons. They got the high post. Yerby up high. Tries to find a cutter coming baseline. He'll do it by himself with a left hand. That's a great move. Coming strong, middle of the paint with a left hand by Rodney Yerby. 67-60. Back the other way right. Alley-oop underneath the Pimble. That would have been spectacular. But again, you talk about basketball acumen. That's the spectacular, but you want something a little bit more high percentage, I would think.
I think everybody in the gym stood up and went, oh, what are you doing?
Simmons out high. Yerby again, that time with a right hand, and that one drops through. So we're back to a 5-point lead at 67-62, Ventura.
Yeah, you've got exactly what you want right now. You know, if you're Riverside, you just had 4 quick points. You had a turnover on the other end. You're back to within 5 with 3 minutes left. So Riverside's where they want to be.
3:07 left to play in regulation. Possession side court to Watson, having some trouble. Coming back to help out his Pimble. Pass backwards to Wright, who saves. Not a particularly good pass, but Wright did a good job on the save. Cross-court pass, that's a tough play. Saved by Watson, that's tremendous to Breland. 20 seconds on that shot clock, 2:52 in the second half. Wright looking a little bit uncomfortable. That ball, that's a break for Riverside. Danny Tavares knows it. It was off his hands, but he's quickly going to go the other way to set up on the elbow left side. They ruled that off the hands of Jarrell Smith. 14 seconds on the shot. Little fadeaway left side by Tavares. Misses that. Yerby up high. This guy's been great in the second half. To Simmons. That ball knocked away out of bounds with 2:38 left to play. 5-point lead. The Pirates, it was 10 not too long ago, but great response by Riverside on another mini run coming back.
You know, I'd like to see Riverside right now. It's only a 5-point game. They're still kind of in panic mode, and they really don't need to be with 2:35 left.
Calling for the high screen, Simmons. He swings the ball to Pierre. They run that high post look and the pass out of that over the top of the can. Jump stop out of the corner. There's a 2-pointer. That one's going to go up high, kiss off the top of the board. That's legal, but it goes straight out of bounds side court. Did anybody touch that? I think that's got to be Ventura's basketball. In fact, no, they said that's going to be.
Troy Watson jumped up there and was kind of surprised and he hit the ball with his fist for straight out of bounds.
Smith misses that shot off balance. Ends up in the hands of Simmons on the offensive rebound. Back to Smith. Bounce pass to Yerby. There's a 2-hand flush as he continues to impress at 67-64. Coming up on 2 minutes left to play. There's a steal by Yerby. He comes down left side over the top of the fade. That's good.
Well, I don't know how that guy's played all year, but this looks like a career night to me. This second half, it has been all Yerby.
Yerby averaging 11.4 points per ball game coming in. It's a 1-point lead for Ventura. Trevor Breland knocked away, ends up in the hands of Yerby. So they've got possession of the basketball with a chance to take the lead. 1:35 and counting. It's 67-66. Ventura by 1. High post. That ball's going to be knocked away, stolen by Pimble, and he's fouled by Yerby.
You know, I think that's just a play right there of outsmarting your own team. He fake passed like he was going to throw the cross court, threw it into Yerby, and messed him up.
I got to ask Dave Wheeler what the numbers are for Yerby. What a great second half. All of his scoring has come in the second half. 67-66. Pimble the other way of the free throw line to shoot a couple. He's closing in on 20. He's got 15 points, 3 rebounds, 3 steals. And again, all his damage basically coming here in the second half.
Well, I'll tell you, that dunk, that last play down or 2 plays ago, that was impressive. I mean, you know, sometimes I forget the athleticism between high school and junior college. I mean, that was a hammer.
Pimble gets the 2. First one on the way. That's good.
Well, that's a big free throw right there with 1:28 left. You're only up by 1. Boy, what a tough free throw to step up and make.
It looks like Pimble might be suffering the effects. Hopefully it's just fatigue. Well-deserved fatigue as hard as this guy's played. And not an injury. Very cool, very calm, very collected. He's got them both at 69-66 with 1:28 left to play. Timeout. We're in for quite a run here with 1:28 left to play in regulation. Pirates by 3.
And with 4:30, they're up by 10, so that's quite a run by Riverside to get it back to within 3 minutes to get it within 1, and now back to 3.
You know, I'd like to see right now, VC, when you're talking about this press that they're putting on by Riverside. Everybody on the VC team's trying to dribble through this press instead of pass through it. You've got Tavares, you've got Pimble, you've got Watson, you've got some big bodies up front. If they would pass it up and attack that way, I think they'd be a lot better off than trying to dribble it up.
In honor of our great crew, we'll start on camera number 1 with Big Tim Oglesby. Great job by everybody involved production-wise on our Time Warner Cable crew. Our director, Max J. MacGyver. Carl Holm will be has been our engineer digital replay for so many years. Master Double DL Andrew Delara on graphics, our producer floor manager. He's back at the house. The Ice Man Brian Fortune back next to us. He's always in the house, but it usually, at least of late, has been in the truck. On audio, Poet Laureate of Ventura County Phil Taggart. We mentioned Tim Oglesby on camera 1. Carla Williams on camera 2. Mr. Big Bill Goodman on camera 3. Carmen, the Ideal Lady Gomez on camera 4. And Chuck Constantly, our production assistant, along with Trevor Williams. Sylvia Robinson and Caitlin Holm. Of course, that's Carl's daughter. 1:28 left to play, 69-66. Possession backcourt to Yerby. Pressure applied in the backcourt over the top to Jones. Jones coming right wing. Back to Simmons out high. 25 seconds on that shot clock. 1:15 left to play in regulation. Jones with a basketball to Juan. Make that Mookie Pierre left side to Simmons. 1:05 left to play in a basketball game, at least regulation. 12 seconds on the shot clock to Simmons. He puts it on the floor, left side of the bounce. He throws that out of bounds. Intended on that little pick and roll to Smith. Thrown away out of bounds. Possession to Ventura with 59.6 seconds left.
I mean, this obviously goes without saying. This is going to be an interesting possession to see what Ventura does here. I personally attack. I still think you got to go. You don't wait for the foul. You don't wait for the turnover.
Let's see what they do out of the press break right here. The man pressure. Who will they get the ball to? Trying to come back to get it. Young has it, trying to come down the right side. They're going to call him. Are they going to call a foul? They're calling for the travel right in front of Riverside's bench, but Mookie Pierre evidently will recede for the foul. Tommy Young to the free throw line, and let's look at Tommy's numbers. 72% on the year from the free throw line.
Back him up. Shoot from right inside the three-point line.
That might be too close, though, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. Back him up. Back all the way up.
If you go 6 feet back, you're in range, I guess is what you're saying, huh?
Plus, he hasn't been here tonight, and he hasn't been here under this kind of situation. This is a tough shot.
12 points off in the three-point land. That's too strong. You could tell when he let it go, that was a little bit too strong. I think you were right, Coach. At least 3 more feet. That was probably pure. He'll collect himself. He's that marquee player that we talked about, 69-66. This is a big free throw. It turns it into a 2-point or 2-possession lead. He misses that one short. Rebound to Jones. 53 seconds and counting. Viroete with a basketball. 27 seconds on the shot clock left side to Pierre. Pierre trying to come strong baseline, drops it off to Smith, having trouble. Ball knocked away, almost stolen. Ends up back in the hands of Viroete. 39 seconds on the game clock, 16 seconds on that shot clock. Out of the corner, the pump fake by Yerby. Over the top off glass, misses out. That's a great control tap by Pimble, and he's fouled. In fact, out of the backcourt is Breland. What a great job on the control tap by Anthony Pimble.
Well, we've talked about those 2 big guys inside, and they've really made a big difference tonight. And that was one of the biggest plays of the evening.
You know, Tom, you are so right. I mean, here's Pimble up. You've got everybody on Riverside above the rim. Instead of trying to grab it, he says, hey, I'm going to knock it out. Hits it right to where his players are. Just a smart basketball move.
So I believe Trevor Breland will step to the free throw line momentarily to shoot a couple. It looked like Yerby might have rolled that ankle a little bit. That guy has been unbelievable. You talk about the energy and riding the hot hand. Good job by Riverside, basically acknowledging and recognizing the fact that Rodney has been so good here in the second half. And hopefully he'll be okay. It looks like he's still on the floor. In fact, as I look out there, he's been replaced. So Breland, the 61% free throw shooter on the year, It only counts what happens here. He's got the double bonus, first one in the air. That one's good.
You know, that is a big free throw. You said it last time, and it's such a big difference to be up by 4 and 3, and not only because it's one possession, but psychologically, you know, teams come down like Riverside and they want to just throw it up so quickly.
Second free throw, that's good. If you're out of Brooklyn, New York, you got to be tough. Very tough, resilient play from the free throw line by Trevor Breland, hitting both of them. Coming strong, the drop off right side. Now Smith, there's a two-hand throwdown, and that happened in a hurry. 25.6 seconds left, 71-68. Timeout call. That didn't take long, boys.
Well, Giovanni Moretti just ran right over Tommy Young there. Tommy Young stood in there and was looking for the offensive foul, didn't get it, and that led to the easy dunk.
So I would expect to see, as we resume play here momentarily, that full court pressure once again. If you can get that early steal, that's what you're looking for, obviously, but you have to go into foul mode, I would imagine, pretty quick, Coach.
I think so, but this is where you become a coach, okay? And I'll let Winslow tell me I'm wrong after. But right now, you should have a play out of bounds, 25 seconds left. Don't set up your regular rotation press break. Run a play where you're busting a guy long or busting to the right place or getting the ball in the hands of your best shooter. But you don't want to just run a press break right here. Don't want to just guess what happens. Run your best play.
You know what I'm kind of hoping will happen? I saw the great coach over at Simi Valley High School a number of years ago, Bob Hawking, take his coat off and basically whirlwind that one up into the stands. If Ventura holds on to win this one, I would love to see that orange sport coat by Coach Winslow being basically shot up into the stands. I'm going to go scramble for that. I like that coat.
Well, you could, you know, that might be a good one for Halloween next year, so I might be up there with you. Try that.
I think we'd all be surprised at the value of that coat.
Getting back to Dr. Jerry Guerin's trip to Palm Springs, we're going to have a full report on his escapades there, hopefully next week if we're still alive, playoff-wise.
Well, there was some fascinating stuff in technology we learned over the last 4 days, and I'll tell you that one of the titles of the 21st century is it passing you by? It is passed me by, there is no doubt.
Having trouble with the entry, Watson, he finds Tavares. Will they foul him? They will from behind. So that's what we're talking about. Anthony Dandy with a little push from behind. Danny Tavares, he's not wasting any time. He says, I'm going to get right to that free throw line, set up confidently, and try to knock these down.
And one thing Riverside has done, which Coach talked about, alluded to, is Ventura trying to get somebody on a breakaway. They set Emmanuel Jones back, and I think he's a very versatile player, very good defensive player. To set him back to stop Ventura from being able to do something like that.
Danny Tavares with the right hand push. That's good. So they continue to shoot the ball well from the free throw line. In crunch time, 72-68 with 24.4 seconds left. In regulation tonight from Ventura, the winner to Fresno State Community College Championships next week. Second one, that's good.
Boy, those are two huge free throws. Calmly put in there with just 25 seconds left.
They need to basically force some clock. Giovanni, great job on penetration, misses that shot short. On a putback, that's there once again. And who else? Anthony, make that Rodney Yearby.
Basketball player, he wasn't hurt.
On the entry to Breland, he's going to be fouled by Giovanni. 13.9 seconds left in this basketball game. Perhaps that's 5 on Giovanni.
All right,
back the other end, Trevor Breland to shoot a couple.
I got to ask you a question, because this crowd, and I've seen this in other phenomenal arenas. I mean, you got a packed house, you got all the crowd on your side. You got a free throw shooter, and they get as quiet as they can. and as a player, I hated that. You yell, scream, make noise, do something, because it's so different than the regular game.
Well, I think that's what they say sometimes. It's actually easier to play on the road because you know you're going to get all the bad stuff, but you expect that, and it almost becomes somewhat comfortable, I would imagine.
Absolutely, but what a great crowd tonight. This place is jammed again.
First free throw, that looked strong, but it rattled through. And we've talked about it before. Ventura is a great sports town, but it's a fantastic basketball town, I think.
Well, there's a lot of basketball athletes, and these people know basketball. We're here watching tonight. This is like a tennis match right now.
Second free throw in the air. That's good. They continue to convert. 75-70. Shot clock, game clock down to 10 seconds. Out of the corner with the basketball. He rises up high, misses that shot. Yearby, rebound to Smith. Down to 4 seconds, down to 3. That shot missed, down to 1. That's off that support basket. We're down to half a second. But this basketball game is over. 75-70. Let's see what the final score will be. 3 out of the last 5 years, this regional final has been played at home, and Ventura has not won it, but they've won it here tonight. And look at the double backflip by Anthony Pimble. That young man is happy.
Wow.
I think he's on the dance team, too.
I knew he was athletic, but my goodness.
Boy, it's not quiet at the tennis match here right now.
Tremendous community college basketball game tonight from Ventura. The Pirates, they're on their way to Fresno. They win at 75-70 over an excellent, tremendous Riverside Community College Tiger squad. Reminder, tonight's game has been sponsored in part by Santino's Pizza and Pasta. For the best pizza in town, stop by Santino's Pizza and Pasta, 4231 Telegraph Road, adjacent to Ventura College right here in Ventura. A family tradition since 1979. We'll be back with our post game right after this break.